Lately, American news has been talking about Moscow all the time. Is it another Russian collusion? Is Putin involved in yet another war? No, it's not that Moscow. It is Moscow, Idaho. Four students were murdered, and everyone was shocked that no one in their house woke up as the crime was committed, and the perpetrator left no evidence behind. As the search for the killer was taking weeks, people started fearing that it will become another cold case. But finally, the killer was found. It was a criminology PhD student. His education allowed him to devise what he thought was a flawless plan that will not allow him to be traced. But he was wrong. He was found through the DNA of his distant relatives. You see, when we touch something, we almost always leave our DNA there. Investigators always collect DNA from a crime scene, and then if the perpetrator has been arrested before then, his DNA is in their database. They match it up, and now they are looking for a specific person. But if the murderer never had any encounters with the law enforcement, then they don't have his DNA. The police will collect DNA from the crime scene, but it is useless. It does not lead them to anyone particular. This is what the Moscow criminal was probably counting on. He knew that the police would collect his DNA, but it would be of no use to them because he was never arrested before. But the FBI was smarter. They looked for DNA close to his on publicly available family tree websites. Many people want to learn about their ancestors or look for their relatives through DNA, and they leave their information there. Investigators found relatives of the killer. They identified his father, and that led them to him. Watching this unfold, I was first of all glad that the crime did not go unpunished. But besides for this, I had another thought, not about crimes, but about our regular, everyday actions. When we think about what we do, we often pay attention only to the task that needs to be completed. And who will do it, how it will be done, is not important. Will it be done by a robot or by a human? I don't know. What's the difference? The main thing is that everything is done right. But the Torah teaches us that we live in a three-dimensional world. No, I'm not talking about geometry. The three dimensions I'm talking about are time, space, and human. Every action has the right time, the right place, and the right person to do it. Therefore, different people have different mitzvahs, and everyone has to fulfill them themselves. I cannot put on tefillin for you. But if the main thing is that the job will get done, what is the difference? Who does it? Why is the human factor so important? On everything we come in contact with, we leave a part of ourselves, literally and figuratively. We put our soul into what we do. Both material and spiritual DNA remains there forever. Now this part of ourselves binds us forever with this object, this place, this action. And not only ourselves, but also our ancestors and our entire family. So, what do I want to leave my imprint on? What objects or actions will have a part of my soul in them? Where do I want to drag my ancestors in with me, my parents? What do I want to connect my family with?